All right, welcome back. One of the things that before we start, one of the things that I forgot to mention in the last lecture, but I'll mention it again, just related. You can see, even though we went back to 2102 and it did load all my configurations, my interfaces are still down. What happens when the router reloads and the registries were changed, the interfaces actually stay down. Okay, so you got to make sure that you want to go ahead, because if you were to do a show IP int brief, you see they're all administratively down. So we're going to first go ahead and turn on the F00 and then the S001, because obviously we want connectivity. So config T, oops, not config Y, config T, interface F0/0. Let's do a no shut on that, and do interface S0/0/1, and let's do a no shut on that. Do WR, Control Z. We do a show IP and brief again, or we up arrow to it. Now everything is up. Once span tree finishes its thing here, this amber light will go to green. Now, so I failed to mention that. I do apologize. But remember, when you are changing the registry settings and you come, and the router reloads, what's going to happen is your interfaces will go administratively down. Make sure to check your interfaces that they're all up, at least the ones that need to be up. Okay? Now, I'm going to exit the router. Let's say, and now because we're this lesson, I want to show you how to work and how to get to ROMMON, right? Let's say whatever reason you need to log into a router. I have no idea. I don't know. I forgot my password. There's nobody around. Now this is something that you really don't want to do during the day unless you're very quick. All right, but you want to do this in the middle of the night. Routers, servers, they do not get rebooted. I think there was a trivia question that I found online. The longest router that was ever on that never rebooted was like 8 years or something like that. But you normally don't want to reboot or take down the router during the middle of the day. If you're gonna do something like this, you maybe wait to the least amount of traffic at least within your network, or if you can help it, do it after hours. You more likely will have a maintenance window that it will allow you to do any kind of these changes. Obviously, email people if you're going to do this throughout the day, because you will be taking people down, meaning they won't have access to certain things across these routers. All right, so you don't know your password. So obviously here's now a real router. I got to go to a tab, turn it off, go to another tab, and do what I got to do. What you would do is you would turn off your router, turn it back on, and you would use a break command. And this is why I say it that way. Your book says control plus pause break. Control pause break. On my laptop, there's no pause break. On some routers, that control pause break does not work. So whatever break command you want to use it. Control C, that works on a lot of routers. So as long as there's a break command, you want to interrupt, is what you're doing. You're interrupting the boot sequence to allow you to get into ROMMON, because you're going to have to change the registry setting in ROMMON to that 2142 that would allow you to go back in so you can change the passwords, all right? All the passwords that you need to change because you forgot, let's say all of them, and then you can get in your router again. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go into the physical tab. I'm going to turn off my router. So now my router's off, meaning you saw my interfaces, they're completely down. I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to go to the CLI tab. I'm going to do Control C. Now I am in ROMMON. I'm going to bring it up here. I am in ROMMON, ROM monitor mode. Again, there's a dark, dirty place. You don't want to be here if you don't have to be here. Our purposes for being here is to change the register because we could not get into the router to do what we needed to do. So here, case sensitive, commands are slightly different. In the previous lessons, we did config-reg, right? Short for register. Here, we're going to do confreg. And it is case sensitive, so I'm going to keep everything lowercase. Confreg. Hello. Confreg space 0x2142. Enter. That means configure registry. All right, so we're configuring the registry 2142. There's the command right there. All right, config 0x2142, and then we type the word reset, which will reload our router. So our router should now come up in setup mode again because we changed the register. And let's see. And here we are in setup mode. We're going to say no, obviously. And now we're in a blank configuration again. Show run. Because if you do a show start, you're actually going to see what's in the start. You want to see what's in the run, and there's nothing. So one of the changes before you make any changes, one of the things that you want to do is like we did before. You want to copy whatever's in your start, whatever's inside that NVRAM. You want to make sure you copy it to your RAM, into your run where you're at right now. You want to do that. Why do you want to do that? Because if you accidentally, you go in there, you make your change, the password changes. Oh, great, I changed my password. Copy, run, start. So you're copying just what's in RAM right now to the same file name. So you will overwrite what you did. So you just blew away everything else. So the first thing that I advise you to do when you did this procedure, that you did not know your password, then you did a control break, you changed config 0x2142, and then you hit reset, your router rebooted into setup mode. You're going to go ahead and copy whatever's in your NVRAM to your RAM, the opposite, right? So you're going to copy, start, run. That's exactly what we did before. But now I'm giving you a reason why to do that, because now all your configurations are in the run. All right? So let's say you already changed your passwords, because we really know what our passwords are. I'm just going to change the registry right now while I'm in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do config -reg 0x2102. Enter. And now I can do copy, run, start. Oop, can't do it from there. Let me do it the proper way. Exit, and then do copy, run, start. Enter. It's file name, enter. Not a problem, right? If we do a show ver, it's going to show me, because right now we're at 2142. On next reload, we're going to be at 2102. But take a look at our interfaces. They're down. So let's go ahead and reload to make sure that everything did take effect. So that little piece right there, again, to get to ROMMON, just interrupt the boot sequence, Control C or Control Pause Break, whatever break command it'll allow you to use. All right? And then once you do that, once you change the registry settings and you reset, the very first thing that I'm advising you to do is copy whatever's in your start to your run. Then make your changes, then save your changes. Okay? And then you don't have to reload. If the router reloads on its own, that's its problem. Okay? But at least you'll have it where it's supposed to be, and it'll look at NVRAM. And then Cisco. And then everything is good to go. We look at the show ver, all the way to the bottom, we're at 2102. So now you know how to get into ROMMON if you had to by doing the Control C. Now, somebody told me, hey Laz, is that a security problem? Sure. I mean, if your router is sitting at the receptionist desk, but it's not. It's behind a closed door with a badge access that nobody has access to your routers. Only the people that need to have access to your routers. Let's say like in a school environment. In a school environment, unless the executive director or the director of education are CCNA certified or CCNP or CCIEs, they have no need. They have their own job. They have no need to be in my telecommunications closet. I am the IT director. I am the IT administrator. I am the Cisco person. So I am the only one, and whoever I choose to implement to go ahead and say, hey, you're going to be my assistant. You're going to go ahead and go in there and do whatever you need to do. We're the only ones that have access to that particular telecommunications closet where your routers are at. Nobody else. I don't care if you're the owner of the school. Because if something happens to those routers, guess what rolls downhill, okay? And it's going to come back to you. So you are in charge of your network. And one of the first things with security is physical security. You got to make sure that only the people that need to have access to that particular location. So do not set your routers or switches in a location where people can do damage to them. Okay? So just so you know, because they say, well, can you disable the control pause break? You can. But then what's going to happen when you forget your password? What's going to happen then? You're going to run into a little issue, aren't you? So careful with that. You don't have to disable it. Just make sure that your routers, they're in the telecommunications closet. Only IT people, IT personnel that have the level of clearance to get in there need to get in there. Other than that, you don't need to be there. Okay? Just want to, I know I'm kind of pushing that issue, but I've been asked a question many, many times, and it's like, and I've seen it with my eyes, people that don't need to be inside of the telecommunications closet are in there. And that's the wrong answer. Wrong answer. But again, so that was ROMMON. Again, you need to turn on your interfaces. Don't forget. So config -T, same interfaces, interface F0/0. Let's do a no shut. And interface S0/0/1. We'll do a no shut. All right, do WR. We got green lights. Everything's good to go. We made our changes. We're back at 2102 at the default setting of the registry. We're set to go. And that's it. So again, for your test, they'll probably ask you very basic questions on that, okay? But at least know now how to get into ROMMON and how to manipulate the registry by doing either config-register within the router or confreg, CONFREG 0x2042 within ROMMON. I'll see you in the next lecture.